So today we are interviewing the co-founder of DRINKmaple, Mrs. Kate Weiler. It's a pleasure to be interviewing you today. My name is Raul Kavouru. I'm the vice president of CompanyRoots. I'm an 8th grader at Oak Hill Academy, and my passion includes entrepreneurship, tennis, watching Shark Tank, and playing chess. So this is my partner, Soris Jafti.
So I'm the founder of CompanyRoots. I'm a 10th grader in Homedale High School, and my passion is entrepreneurship, tennis, eating exotic foods, and trying out new products, just like DRINKmaple.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Look at that.
So let's try it right now. Here, open yours up. It actually tastes really good.
Oh, I like it.
Can you try it? I could taste the maple, so.
Yeah, it's very subtle, though. If you expect to be tasting maple syrup or drinking maple syrup, it's definitely not that. It's really hydrating and very subtle flavor.
Yeah, it's really nice.
Yeah, thank you.
So before we do the interview questions and stuff, we just wanted to thank you for taking your time out of your day. We are a huge fan of this product. It's healthy, it's natural, and I mean it's from our environment, which is the best type of product.
Yeah, thank you. Well, thanks for taking the time to interview me and invite me on your show.
So, could you explain us exactly what DRINKmaple is?
Yeah, exactly. So this is what's this sap that's coming from the tree. So we don't like to use the word sap just because sap is most people think that sap is sticky or viscous, or they think that it's syrupy because, when you climb up trees as a kid, the sticky sap that get on your hands, that's what a lot of people equate sap to.
Yeah.
And that's because that's what pine sap is. But maple sap is actually, we call it maple water, so it's the same thing. When you tap a maple tree, this is the water that comes out of the tree. So what happens is in the springtime, the water absorbs the minerals and the electrolytes and in the soil, and then goes up through the tree, and it provides energy and nutrients to the tree. In the springtime, when you tap it, that's what comes out. So it's harmless to the tree. We only take 10% of the sap that's available. It's a similar infrastructure to maple syrup. So most people have the questions like, okay, wait, if this is coming out of the tree, what's maple syrup? So what it is that it takes 40 gallons of this maple water to boil down to make 1 gallon of syrup. Wow. So when you tap it out of the tree, it's all coming out like water. And for hundreds of years, it's been brought to sugar houses and it gets boiled. All the water evaporates and boiled down to make a syrup. And that's what you're consuming when you have maple syrup. What we're doing is we're just bottling it as a natural hydration in its original form, tapping from the tree instead of boiling it down.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's amazing. You're taking a process and you're just making your own.
Yes. So, it's exciting. It's utilizing a resource, and I don't know if you're going to ask my story, but really when we discovered it, it was like, wow, why isn't anyone doing this? Why is everyone boiling it down to syrup?
Yeah. I mean, what were your company roots in this case, and how do they help you get into this maple water industry?
Yes. So I wasn't looking to start a beverage company. My business partner and I had no beverage experience at all, and we weren't really looking to start a company. Sometimes you hear stories about people that are trying to create a product or trying to start a company because they have passion for this, but for us, it wasn't that way at all. We were doing an Ironman triathlon in Mont Tremblant in Canada. And so I was at this race, and I was a sports nutritionist. So I was in nutrition, had a degree in nutrition. And my business partner was an electrician and a contractor for home automation and lighting systems. So we both were not in this industry at all. And we were doing an Ironman triathlon in Mont Tremblant, and we were in a coffee shop, and we were just poking around, waiting, and discovered a small manufacturer in Canada was making a maple water, and had no idea that what was coming straight from the tree was this natural hydration. And I was had my pulse on, new products and health and wellness, being a nutritionist and just being a passion of mine. And I was like, how come I've never heard of this? And I was like dug around a little bit. It was like, no one's really talking about it. And this is amazing. Like they're realized that there were all these different nutrient compounds because University of Rhode Island had already done a research study on the product. And really just felt like other people would like it as much as we did. And we were coconut water drinkers and we're like, why, there's this coconut water craze. I was like, why isn't anyone utilizing a natural resource that's right in our backyard? And we're New Englanders, so maple trees are abundant and grew up around maple trees. And I was like, this is crazy. There's all these coconut water drinkers. So most people must love the idea of a natural hydration that's, single ingredient coming from the earth, from the source, and that this whole thing is, there must be a market for it. And why isn't anyone doing it? And so we felt like other people would like it as much as we did. When I discovered the nutrition properties, for me, that was really exciting as a nutritionist and someone that values that. And so then we decided to throw ourselves into the industry and we started DRINKmaple.
Yeah.
So what benefits does DRINKmaple have over other products such as coconut water or aloe vera?
Yeah. So what I think is really cool is that maple water, the one you're drinking, it's one single ingredient. So some of the other products on the market have added sugar or stevia or monk fruit. We don't add anything to it. It's naturally low sugar. So we have less sugar than we're half the sugar of coconut water and about half the sugar than aloe drinks, like the ready to drink aloe vera drinks. There are some aloe vera drinks that you can get like in the supplement aisle that doesn't add any sugar to it.
Yeah.
But it's easier to consume that more like a nutrition shot, I think, than drinkable. But if you, the aloe vera drinks that sit next to us, we have much less sugar then. So naturally really low sugar. Like I mentioned, there are over 46 nutritional compounds, so polyphenols, antioxidants, prebiotics. We have a research study in the works right now, and the pilot study just came out saying it's 2 times faster hydrating than regular water, and we have 4 times the antioxidants of regular water. So we have a bunch of research studies going on now. But I think overall, like what we love about the products is it's a natural, delicious, very hydrating drink coming straight from the earth.
Wow. Well, DRINKmaple is still a growing company, like every company. So how big do you think that you can make it, and how large is the market?
Yeah, so I mean, really, we think that the market is where coconut water is reaching $1 billion category right now. We have a long way to go to get there, but we think that if coconut water is $1 billion category, we have the potential to get there as well. We keep hearing that people love the taste so much more than a coconut water, and we think that there's a really big shift happening in our country with people looking for better for you type products. So the opportunities there, it's very difficult to cut through the noise in the beverage industry and get shelf space and get to the consumers. It's an ever-changing market, so there's a lot of challenge there right now. However, I think that the consumer base and the need for the product and the want for the product is there.
Yeah, so DRINKmaple's water is collected from Vermont. So why did you choose Vermont as your source?
Yeah, so Vermont is the number one source of maple in the country. So Canada is the number one world source, but we are from the U.S. We're Americans, and there's plenty of supply in Vermont. So really, Vermont has a lot of available organic trees as well. So maple trees aren't treated with chemicals or pesticides, but sometimes it's hard to get organic certification if you're tapping trees that are adjacent to crops or other type things that prevent that organic certification. So for us, it was really important to pick a place that had abundant supply and then also had supply that could be organic.
Yeah. Well, you mentioned that that you have investors in your company, right? So how did you get the seed money to start it?
Yeah, so we bootstrapped our first year. So we used our own capital. We didn't go to outside investors our first year to really prove that there was that pilot study. And then our seed capital was going to family and friends and angels. We had a small fund that's been very, very supportive and helpful. And really it's that networking and word of mouth. So it's going to family and friends. I always say though, from taking money from family and friends, it's tough, right? You need to make sure that you can sit across or be at a party or a Thanksgiving dinner table, and that if you lost that money, then you're okay with either the relationship going sideways or that person's going to love you and support you no matter what. So it's always I think, raising money is a very emotional and touchy thing. And then as you get bigger, it's really about that network and meeting as many people as you can, especially when you're not raising, meeting people and networking and deciding early on if you want to take money from people or not. I mean, it's okay to say no. And it's okay on the other side for them to say no as well. So being comfortable with that I think is really important.
Yeah, so like when you started DRINKmaple, like how exactly did you create your team and your logo? Like how that whole process? Did
you include your friends and family in your team making thing?
Oh, like my team, like the employees and things like that, or yeah. No, it was actually just Jeff and I for the first, really almost a year. It was just the two of us for the first year. The logo, my brother had some good insight on the logo. I mean, honestly, looking back, I wish we moved very, very fast because we're up against the sap season. So so you can only collect maple water during one time during the year. Yeah. And when we decided that we wanted to do this, we realized that there was a sap season. We needed to have packaging ordered. And we had found a couple other companies making maple water that came to the market. And we're both very competitive people. So it fired our ambition even more to get going. And because we realized that there was one other company had a lot of money and had been working on this for 2 years. Yeah. I mean, we hadn't done any of that. So, it really instilled that entrepreneur fire even more. And so we realized that if we didn't come to market that year, we'd be like a Me Too product. And as entrepreneurs with no money and no experience, we felt like, how are we going to beat these, other companies in the market? So, we moved pretty fast. I think that like from our name, we're going through a brand evolution right now. We're going through a logo evolution, and I can share with you guys when we're, in a couple months when we release it. But I wish now looking back that we had involved, family and friends are good, but I think like finding people in the industry that can give advice and can really steer you as to when you pick your name and your logo. And I've learned that everything, you can evolve, you can change everything. But it can be an expensive change depending on the stage of when you do it. So involving your family in the process is good, involving your friends. But I also think like you've got to be careful because everyone has opinions and you're not going to be able to listen to everybody. And some people might get offended if you don't listen, to their opinions.
Yeah. So on the concept of team building, how did you find your team? Did you meet them in person, or were they people that you connected with in things like college or high school?
Yeah, actually, so our first employee who is still with the company, I used to run with him, and actually, I knew him when he was in high school. I used to run with his dad, and then now I run with him and his brother. And he had worked for another food company, and he was looking for something and wanted to be something, part of something that he believed in and was passionate about. So he was our first employee. He was willing to do whatever it took to join our team. He knew we were a young team, and finding people that are going to roll up their sleeves and like really do whatever it takes is really important. Yeah. I think there's glorification of startups and entrepreneurs and people that they think they might want to work for a startup, but they don't really want to like dig themselves in. And I'm sure Eric would tell you the same thing. So I think that we started there. we at the beginning, it's getting people on board that like really believe in us, that we knew, like one of the people I had worked with before. And now as we grow, we're at the point of looking at people with true industry experience, can bring something, in the industry to the table. So it's an evolution. I think, people that believe in you and are willing to like, stay up through the night if you need them to, roll up their sleeves. And then as you grow, like when you're able to afford, industry people, then bring those people in.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like currently, would you say DRINKmaple's profits are more through business to business or business to customer or consumer?
Yeah, so that's a kind of a tricky one. We only sell to consumers online, like via drinkmaple.com. So it's not a tricky one. It's definitely business to business by a ton.
Yeah.
We are working on changing that. You're going to start seeing us around. However, we're selling to distributors who then sell to stores who then sell to consumers.
Yeah.
So that's the, our end consumer our end person is the consumer.
Yeah.
But the actual, we sell distributors, retailers, and then it ends up, in consumers' hands.
So if we buy directly from your website, like we bought our DRINKmaple from your website, so is that directly from you, or does that go through?
That's from me. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So when you use Amazon, are you a direct seller there? And I know you have your own Amazon Dash button.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
So how does all that
we
work?
work directly with Amazon. So then, but we sell it to Amazon, then Amazon sends. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like what process did you go to create your Dash button?
Yeah.
Oh, it was pretty easy. Someone just reached out and said, "Do you want to do this?" And we sent them the imaging. They did it all. It was an initiative through them, and they reached out, and we had to. Someone on my team did the design, and then some paperwork, and they set it up. It wasn't too difficult. That wasn't a process. Some of the other things on Amazon is definitely more of a process.
Yeah, I mean, Amazon is a huge distributor.
Yes.
Everyone gets everything from there now. So I know that DRINKmaple also has a side company or part of it, Melon, which focuses on watermelon water. So, are you currently trying to focus more on your DRINKmaple company or Melon?
Yeah, so it's all one company. It's different brand names. That's kind of why we're evolving in our brand evolution. When we started, we're a maple water company. So we have some maple water flavors now, and then we have the Drink Melon with the watermelon water. So we're known for our maple water, but from the education standpoint, a lot of people understand watermelon more. It's confusing in the sense of when I was talking about kind of that brand name. Aesthetically, you can tell we're all part of the same family, but being able to build that master brand is where we're evolving to, so that we don't have that kind of sister company, side company. It's a lot more clear.
Confusing for investors, I guess.
Yeah.
It's not. It's like not necessarily for investors. I think it's not. And on the shelf and consumers, it's not that confusing. On the back end side of things, and then how do we create the marketing tools for this brand? I think we recognized that at the time that we launched it, but being entrepreneurs and really not wanting to, we have the mentality of like, we're not going to wait till everything's perfect before we act, because we need to grow, we need to push the limit. We can't act like a huge company. But it was in a place of like, okay, we're going to move forward and just do it. And even our new flavors, our raspberry lemon and our grapefruit, we understood that we were pushing the boundaries of our current brand, but we weren't going to wait till everything was right. And so having that mentality, we decided to just move forward and figure it out later. And we figured it out. So it's coming, but it takes, some of this stuff takes a while to hit, and we'll be announcing in a couple of months.
Yeah, so would you say there are more health benefits with the maple water or watermelon water?
It's different. So I would say, watermelon, what I love about watermelon, it's an amazing source of citrulline, which is good for muscle fatigue. It's been shown to help performance or athletic performance and endurance. it's a really good source of potassium. So where maple water has, it has a lower level of potassium, for people that really want potassium, it has very high. It's more than 2 bananas.
Yeah.
And then it has different, electrolytes as well. And there's magnesium and iron. And it has a little bit more sugar though. So it has the same sugar as coconut water naturally, whereas maple water is less. So it's really depending on, what you're looking for. Like, I drink maple water all through the day. I love our tart cherry watermelon for after workouts, because it really helps with that recovery and anti-inflammatory and muscle soreness. So that's where kind of the health benefits are, depending on, what you're specifically looking for.
Yeah. Well, I know that maple water takes, you only have a specific amount of months where you can actually harvest the maple sap you can only harvest the maple water. So
Yes.
how do you, what do you do to sustain with the rest of that time where you can't do that?
Yeah, so really it's about bottling everything during the season, and we are able to now bottle in or package in bulk, and then be able to do it more through the year. But our first couple of years, we bottle everything at once, which was the need for the capital, right? We needed to bottle everything for the full year to get through that. So it's definitely a challenging supply chain. Even though it's a really simple, natural, pure product, the supply chain is difficult.
Yeah.
So what is like your biggest focus like right now as a company?
Yeah.
Yeah, so our biggest focus right now is we're doing a lot with our e-com. So we're switching over our website. We're making us way more digitally and e-com friendly, and being able to purchase way more easily. But we're also doing a lot around just brand awareness and education, and being able to build our company to really shine through with our mission and go from being a beverage, just selling beverages, to being more of a company that stands for something more. We're really passionate about better for you products. We're very passionate about making them accessible. We don't want to have people having to go into, I love Whole Foods. They're an amazing partner, but I want it to be accessible in not just, natural stores like Whole Foods and organic stores. I want to keep be able to find anywhere. So when you're going into a 7-Eleven or you're going, to gas station, you have better for you type products and our products in the store.
And I mean, I feel like the design itself could attract a customer, because I went on your website and I'm like, whoa, this is designed really well. And I feel like just from reading the back, I just kind of understood what it was about. So I think you're doing a really good job on the education part.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you.
Well, our final question that we end with for every interview is, what would you recommend that the next generation of entrepreneurs do to pursue their passion as high schoolers and middle schoolers?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's a good question. I think what I said before is just do it. Don't wait till everything's perfect or right to move forward. And you'll learn, you'll make mistakes. Everyone's going to make mistakes. But I think I've seen a lot of entrepreneurs in this space that, are gun shy, and it will never be perfect. It will never be right. It will never be the right time, and not being afraid to just going for it and doing it is really, really important for success.
So you think just go for every opportunity you can get?
Well, no, not go for every opportunity. No. If you have I would say, if you have an idea, start doing it. Start doing, or if you have a business idea, just don't wait to go for it. Like, start to plan and talk to people and things like that, but you don't need to wait for everything right. If you are passionate about entrepreneurship, but you don't have a business idea, if that's where you are as a high schooler or middle schooler, find startup companies there's plenty of people that need help.
Yeah.
And surrounding yourself with that is really important. And people can, if you don't have a skill set, I mean, just being in the environment, right? Like, we need help packing boxes and seeing how that works. Like, being able to find people or companies like that, being in that environment is really important for you to set yourself up for success later. If you got a burning idea for a business, and that's what I was saying, it was like, you don't go for every opportunity, but if you have one single focus and a burning idea for a business, I would say just go for it. And start, find people that are going to help you. I mean, I would say like Matt, what you guys just did with, CompanyRoots, right? You just doing it and learn. I'm sure the first couple were a little rocky, but or maybe they were perfect. I don't know. But, but you just went for it and did it. I think that's awesome.
Yeah, that's exactly how CompanyRoots was created. So
yeah, our whole motto is like just we don't know enough yet. We're 15 years old.
Yeah.
So it's really hard for us to kind of have the experience at this age, but we want to do something and we know what we want to do. Like, so this is the whole point of this company.
Yeah. I think that you'll find what you want to do. I would never start anything for the sake of starting something. I think that it's really important that when you start something, you're really passionate about what you're doing, that mission, because this is tough. It's a really tough business and you need to be able to really to sustain it. You need to be passionate and really believe in that greater mission. And you'll figure it out. I mean, I'm confident that the two of you, if you're doing this at your age, you will definitely be passionate about something and be successful.